Abacus started about 26 years ago. There was one vision when I started Abacus, to provide value to customers, to be the first Filipino brokerage that will provide research-based recommendation. Because at that time when I started this business in 1992, most of the brokers were fairly small, family-owned, and very few actually hired full-time research people. Abacus was the first. The thing I'm most proud about is we have a very strong research team, one of the best you can find. People whose dedication to the business and whose passion for the business. We launched MyTrade to provide customer, number one, convenience. Number two, information. You need to know what's happening in the market, and we want to provide them access to market data, everything that they normally will need to go to the newspaper or to the website to study, all very handy, very portable, and very easy. And with increasing mobile internet speed in the market, this has become almost part of everyone's life.
We have a very versatile platform. If you are someone who's basic, you're not a techie person, you have to put the MyTrade mobile app on your phones because you can see there the basic ones, how to trade, the stocks, the gainers, the losers. You can see your portfolio, and you can even log in 5 seconds if you have a good ISP by using your fingerprint. We invest so much with platforms and technology because we know that it's an ongoing development and we value innovation and also customer service.
One important milestone for Abacus is the launch of our online trading platform, MyTrade. Historically, Abacus has been very strong in the institutional and high net worth retail stock brokerage business. And launching MyTrade is our way of reaching and sharing our expertise to the smaller retail investors.
I think we analyze just a little bit better. I think there are angles that we look at that give us insight into companies a little bit better. And then sometimes there's a lot of information in the market. And most of the time, people tend to look at those pieces of information just one at a time. But our strength is that we are able to piece together all these bits of information into a cohesive investment idea. And I think that's probably our biggest strength. We like to make money, not for ourselves, but for our clients. We make investment recommendations to clients. First thing is new investors should do their own research because it's not enough to listen to research analysts or some would be called market gurus. It's not enough to listen to those types of people. It's really important for someone new to the market to do their own research because you'd be more comfortable about your investment making decisions. Second, it's important not to think of investing in the market as getting rich, but rather it being a process that weaves into your entire personal life. So it's not just about making money. It's really, as we say, investment is really a lifestyle choice. Third tip, just remember it takes time. There is a very steep learning curve when it comes to investing, and you shouldn't be discouraged if you lose money on some trades because it's just part of the process.
I chose MyTrade because it is complete. So whenever I want to execute a trade, first I would take a look at good fundamentals and whether it's the right time on the technical side. On the fundamentals, we have an experienced research team. And for the technical side, the MyTrade platform provides a lot of tools. These tools really help me in my decision whether when to enter the trade or not. I've had several unfortunate experiences with other brokers. First, I could start with the customer service. Sometimes even, I just want to order an odd lot. I have to email or have to look through the facts. In MyTrade, I would just press the icon below and there's a live chat for the customer service. So the experience is really great. Some brokers would also have downtimes during market hours. So this is important for me to execute my trades, and being down is an opportunity loss for me. And for me, that's a big deal in trading.
You don't need a rocket science-based system to make money. What you need is a sound mind that says, I like this stock. Fundamentally, it makes sense, and technically, it is sound to go buy at this level or take my profit and things like that. And that's what we provide. We provide you more than just a computer system. We want to provide you with a group of people who are strong in research and who are strong in fundamentals and technicals. The whole purpose is to provide you with system, with value advice, with great customer service.
For Generation Z members who are actually new to investing, I really think that MyTrade provides a really friendly platform for those who are beginning because it's really neat. I really think that MyTrade provides exemplary service in terms of providing research and the like.
One of the reasons why I opened an account with MyTrade is because kay Sir Nicky, I really like yung mga market reports niya. Nakita ko rin naman yung increase ng prices ng mga ni-recommend niya. After nakita ko yon, all the more follow yung mga recommendation niya. Ikata na naman, naging positive naman yung account ko. I'm still in the middle of my journey on how to trade stocks. I was really impressed. The growth ng portfolio ko, and highly recommend that you guys might want to also let Abacus manage your money.
I chose MyTrade simply because they have an app. And as a person who is so into technology and apps as well, I find it convenient. It's just within my pocket and I can just check how my stocks are. Plus, the easy part is that you can also deposit money and trade and buy as it is. When I transferred from the previous, the former one that I've been using, now I get to see my stocks better because again, it's just an app. It may not be as big as others may have under their stocks. At least this one I have more visual reference on how it is, so it will motivate you to add more or to buy, to trade. So there's more action to it rather than it's just in a dashboard.
I started investing in stocks because I wanted to diversify. My money is either in the bank or in life insurance companies. Being a mother of two, I wanted to have my money more secured and I wanted faster returns. So a friend of mine convinced me to try the stocks. I will encourage others to try MyTrade because it's an easier way of investing, your money secured, and it's very convenient.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. And I know the reason why you joined this session. It's because you wanted to go on top, right? And what better place to actually hold this together with my partner Marian Barachina later? To why not hold it at the top of the Philippines? So I'm here in Pagudpud in Ilocos Norte, which is just a municipality away, going to Cagayan, right? So my name is Jonas Sagadraca. I've been a BPO leader for quite some time, actually 2 decades already. And I would like to invite you into something that is very much fruitful. It's something that is worth spending time. And later, we'll be discussing about how do I invest, right? A lot of questions have been asked about investments, and I think it's the best time right now to actually invest given the technology that we have, right? And basically, trading can now be done, with a click on your cell phone, and it's very much welcoming for me to actually accept the invitation coming from Marian. And that is because I always wanted to add value to people, right? I am a John Maxwell certified trainer, speaker, and coach. And one of our missions is to actually add value. And, this is one way of adding value, giving information that you've always asked for, right? You've wanted. You've probably seen the stock market, dips in the newspaper, in your Facebook feeds. But I think there's this question still. How do I do it? Right? How do I do it? And I think this afternoon will be very fruitful, and I hope you guys engage as we tackle those questions. And for a lot of people who are asking, what is My Trade PH? My Trade actually is the online application of a company named Abacus Securities, and they've been there for 26 years already. And they actually house the best marketer, Mr. Nicky Franco. And what we wanted to do is to actually invite Filipinos to start investing, right? I know a lot of you guys are employees, probably from the government, from the private sector, and you wanted to know, what's next, right? What's next after employment? And this is one way to actually get into the groove of being a company shareholder. Basically, you also become part of a company, right? You own the company, right? And it actually reminds me of one of the things that a very famous British philosopher, writer, actually said. And it goes like this: people are anxious to change their circumstances, but are unwilling to improve themselves. They therefore remain bound. And that's from James Allen. And if you don't know James Allen is actually the father of all those self-help or self-development books, right? And investment, it may be it may be popping questions in your mind right now. I myself have a lot of questions. I don't think there's really an expert who could tell what will happen in the market, right? Of course, less the insider trading. But one thing we wanted to invite you guys is to actually come up with a lifestyle that will actually make you alive, right? It's something where you really don't need to wait for the 15th or the 30th for money to come in. Basically, it can happen anytime, right? With the right strategy, the right readings that you do, um, and with the application that MyTrade offers, as well as all the market data that they offer in their platform. And by the way, they're 99%. They have a 99% uptime, right? So I hope this session this afternoon will actually open your mind into the world of investments, right? Yes, we are in the pandemic situation right now, right? And market analysts, right, or shareholders actually um, don't see this as a you know as a dip, right? They see it as a time where stocks are on a discount, right? I've been part of a large insurance company, actually the largest here in the Philippines. I am a licensed financial advisor also, both internationally and here in the Philippines. And what I wanted to tell you is that if come to think of it, right? A lot of those people who actually become successful, they are the ones doing the things that we are actually scared to do, right? We are scared to do it, right? But they do it and they emerge as winners, right? And that is something that I want you to think about. I want you to open your mind into that particular thinking, right? I got this from another website, and I loved it, so I took down notes. Every time I see something that I love, I really take down notes. And it says the secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda, right? It's like the formula B times do equals have, right? If you wanted to have something, you have to do something and be someone, right? So I think if you're into investing, right? Basically, your mind is actually into the market movements, right? You actually do things that is related to that, where you do your research, you open your MyTrade app and learn about what is happening in the market, right? And that is where you become, right? The B times do times have, right? So it is, I want you guys to first listen carefully to Marian later, right? And I want you to think about, hey, this is something feasible for me to do, right? There's a lot of scams happening right now, quick quick rich programs, right? Well, it's too good to be true, right? um, but if you are invited by those things, you are actually encouraged by those things that you see online right now, why not come up with something very legitimate and use the Philippine Stock Exchange, right? And again, it is very much accessible, right? It's very much accessible. And since I'm the speaker, right, I will always inject those laws of growth, in my talks, because I know those are the things that actually help, right? First one is the law of intentionality, right? If you wanted to be someone, you have to be very intentional, right? It's not automatic. It's never automatic, right? If you're invited now, if you think this is for you, then jump into it and you know do things intentionally for it. You make your research, you read you read those parts of the newspaper that you don't usually read before, especially when you were a kid, right? And that is where actually growth starts, right? And not only for your growth, it's actually for your financial growth. So the law of intentionality is very important. It does not happen automatically, and I want you to be an investor, right? I want you to be an investor, and they always ask the question, when is the best time to plant a tree? And the answer to that is actually 20 years ago, right? And the next best time is actually now, right? So if you wanted to plant that tree for financial success, right, you have to do it now, right? Another thing that I wanted to share with you is the law of awareness. And the law of awareness just simply states you will never rise above your opinion of yourself, right? Let me repeat that. You will never rise above your opinion of yourself. If you're thinking that this is not something for you or something that you cannot do, then you cannot do it, right? But I'm telling you, this will be very easy, right? It's like just, coming up with your own Facebook page, right? But this will actually make you money, right? Now, is there a guarantee? No, because the market changes. However, the guarantee is time, right? If you would be looking at it, if you would be looking at the world index, right, you would see that in the 1950s they were just little bits of dots at the bottom, right? And if you would see it right now, hey, a lot of people who actually invested in the 1950s are millionaires and billionaires now, right? So you have the advantage of time, and that time you use it. You use it for more investments, for more research, learning the process, and that is the thing that actually will make you successful in this trading career, right? Next thing would be the law of trade-offs, right? Law of trade-offs, I would simply say, well, we have the Lazada app right now. We have the Shopee app, right? We love those things. We love spending, but we wanted to be rich, right? So there's something wrong in there, right? So the law of trade-offs just, says you have to give up to grow up. Probably give up some of those time that you spend every day um, going to those spending apps. Instead, go to the Get Rich app, right? It is something that is very, very crucial in your financial success, right? The next thing is the law of the mirror, right? You must see value in yourself to add value to yourself, right? Guys, this is learning. When you learn how to trade, when you learn how to invest, okay, it's actually growth and it's value for you, right? It's not something that, okay, I have the app, I invested, so what, right? No, I want you to really engage with the app, really, engage with the market, see the trends, right? And, this is one of those things where I really resent it when I look back and say to myself, why did I not do this 20 years ago? Right? So don't be like me. Don't be like me. There's a lot of opportunities right now. And when I say opportunities, here's the thing, right? If you will forget everything that I actually mentioned from the start of this broadcast, just remember this, right? Abundance and opportunities is in the other side of yes, right? Abundance and opportunities is in the other side of yes, right? So I want you to think about this. I want you to open up your thinking about the stock market, right? Yes, there will be ups and downs, but that's life, right? It's how we actually adapt. It's how we learn the process, and that is the thing that will make us successful. Lastly, it's the law of curiosity, and it's actually very, very related to the law of the mirror, which is growth is determined by wanting to learn more, right? And you can probably put this in the example where we studied, we graduated, we landed a job, right? Same thing here. Study the stock market, have the app, right? And prosper with the results of your investments, right? So those things that those things are very, very powerful. I want you to remember that. But again, if you will forget everything that I have said, since the start of this broadcast, just remember this, right? Abundance and opportunities is in the other side of yes, right? So, without further ado, I know you guys are very much excited to learn more about the MyTrade app. Again, MyTrade is just the online platform that they have. This is a company called Abacus Securities, and they've been here for 26 years, and they continue to innovate. Right, I think they're number one in innovation and technology. They're number one in customer service. Just try their customer service chats. Right, it's very much available for you. Again, it's the 99% uptime that we're all after. Right, and it will give you another dimension, right? You will actually enter another dimension where you get to see all of these things happening, right? You would see billions of money being exchanged every day, and it will just let you ask yourself, how come I'm not involved in there, right? So it's time to be involved, right? So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the senior manager for business development for mytrade.com.ph, Miss Marian Barachina.
Hello, Sir Jonas. Wait, I'll change your frame. Sir, di nila ako kilalang Marian.
Ah,
They know
okay,
me as
yeah,
Sheena.
China. Okay,
Hello,
China or
guys.
China Barachina.
We are now live at Sir Jonas' platform, also in LinkedIn. Hello for those who are following Sir Jonas. Sir Jonas is my former boss in my first job. Don't tell them what year is that. I'm really privileged that we have connected because I've been in the BPO industry as I've met. That's the place where I met Sir Jonas, and it's a place in my heart to share this financial literacy to them, sir, because I've seen a lot of bonuses, yung mga ganyan na pupunta lang sa gasto sa 12, 12, 11, 11. Is that right? So we want to extend our yung natutunan natin ngayon sa industry, sa paglipat ko ng industry, is very important that I could impart this with our fellow BPO friends and family members. So if you are, or you know someone who is likely working in the BPO industry and has not entered any investment yet, please share this with them. It's an act of love for them to have a financial literacy background and probably start investing. Later on, I'll be joined again by Sir Jonas, and we will be open for question and answer. We're actually live also in our YouTube channel. Follow us and subscribe to us if you want to see other segments of My Trade. Thank you, sir, and I'll see you later.
Okay.
All right. So it's been a while since we last have our basic stock market seminar, and I was privileged to work and collaborate with my former boss, Sir Jonas, to be able to tap our BPO friends. And this is the roadshow that we're starting with them. Probably, I think we're starting late, if you notice, because we want to tap in those who has um, um, a time that starts in a UK time and probably cross in the night shift. I know you guys have just experienced the longest holiday ng mga BPOs, tama ba? Yung Thanksgiving holiday. Shout out sa mga dating AIG members. So this is, I normally don't do shout outs, but sa mga taga AIG dyan, if you know someone from AIG, this is somehow like a partial uh, reunion dito sa mga taga AIG, and also shout out sa mga taga Teletech and taga Shell shared services. Those are the people that I've worked with. I was privileged to work with, and if you know someone who wants yung mga dati kong teams, please share it with them. All right, so this roadshow will start today, and we'll probably have more of this on the coming months. And we are privileged to have a test. This is a test broadcast for Sir Jonas. But Sir Jonas, since he is a certified John Maxwell speaker, a motivational speaker, we will also ask him to talk on behalf of our clients in my trade. Soon I'll be asking him to open. I know that I've actually missed those motivational things that he was saying a while ago. Let's move on. This is the yan. If you are listening, kapag mga taga former AIG, can you have like hashtag AIG peeps here? Put the comments in the comment section below so I can make a shout out sa inyo. Hi Pia, thanks for tuning in. Please feel free to share with us where you guys are from. If you are from a BPO industry, tell us what office are you from. If you are an OFW, just let us know where you are watching us from. Okay, so today's topic is who we are. I know that probably some of you, it's going to be the first time to hear us talk and who we are. Second is investing in the Philippines. Bakit nga ba less than 1% lang ng population sa market ang mga Filipino na invested sa stock market? There is something that has to do with our mentality growing up. Ano ba yung nasa isip natin? What is instilled in our minds growing up? Why is that? Parang pagdating sa stocks or pagdating sa ibang investment, we are scared, and it has something to do deeply rooted in our culture that probably we can tap. And also three important things when we are starting in the market. What do we need to know? And something that we should not forget. A lot of us in the market right now, once na nandito na tayo, nakakalimutan na natin itong mga basic things eh. I was told before there is a problem solving na sometimes we are so focused on the complexity of the method when in fact dun lang pala tayo sa basic, and we must always remember what are the basic principles, and today we will talk about that, and I hope that you will not forget it once you know you are already in the market. And last but not the least, how can we help you? Sabi nga nila, knowledge is power, but I don't believe in that. Knowledge will only have power if you apply it. So, at the last part, how will we be able to start investing? And so, are you excited? This is not a Zoom, so you can comment so we can shout out your name. All right. So, our clients, just to have a while ago, we produced this is our video.
Abacus Securities was the first corporation we founded almost exactly 25 years ago. Abacus started out with a focus on research, and we want to be able to share this avenue or this strength that we have to all the customers that sign up with us.
Our research group provides concise and relevant information to our clients.
We believe that our research is ahead of the curve. We believe that our research capability will give investors an edge.
Of course, what comes together with it is customer service. Your phone calls get answered, your emails get answered.
We provided different or various ways for them to contact our customer relations group.
We have invested and we are going to continue to invest in both technology and in people so that we will be able to offer the best customer service. There are more than 30 providers of online trading services in the country today.
All right. So we are 30 years in the business. This is not the first time that this is not a fly by night company.
I chose my
Okay, I'll just stop it first. We have been here for 30 years now actually. I think napanood ni Sir Jonas was a few years ago when we recorded that video, but we are already 30 years in in the industry, and this is our client base is mostly institutional, retail, traditional, and the online retail clients. We are like top 15 in the market in the Philippines, and sometimes this is actually why makikita mo sa ticker madalas yung Abacus Securities. So it's broker code 102. All right. So, okay, now that you know who we are, you can also find out who we are by going to our page, MyTrade PH, going to our website and our YouTube channel. But now let me talk about investing in the Philippines. Ano ba talaga? What is happening? Why is that there is such thing as... Yan, alisin na natin siya. So, why is there such thing as investing in the Philippines? Bakit merong side tayo dito sa atin na we are having a hard time investing? And my topic right now is to talk about ano ba yung nakagawian natin growing up. When we say investing, what comes to mind? Sa ating, ito, mga viewers right now, can you comment in the comment section below? I won't bite. Just comment, ano ang naisip nyo when we say the word investing? Sige nga, let me see. While I fix my screen right now. What comes to mind when we say, yan, investing? Ano yung unang pumapasok sa isip nyo? Mukhang shy type yung mga viewers ko ngayon. Yan. So, si Mary Grace. Hi, Mary Grace is risk. Sige, how about the other? Patience, sabi ni Regina Mariano. Alright, how about the others? Okay, Pia, returns. Risky din po. But there's patience. Diba? If you will see, 1 out of 5 comments here is more based on fear rather than opportunity. And eto, we say that Ayan, capital, sabi ni Facebook user. By the way, if this is your first time to watch using StreamYard, just grant us an access link by clicking StreamYard and allowing us to have access. So when we put your profile, we'll see your face. Ayan. Capital. Okay. So, ang mga Pinoy, they're more familiar of house and lot as investment, farms, jewelries, or savings account. Diba? Kapag may savings account ka na, you know that alam mo na ano yun, it's an investment na yun. Investment nga ba ang savings? We will talk more about that. Meron pa akong naririnig lagi na when someone buys something that is expensive, sasabihin nila, binili ko kasi investment naman yan. Sino nakakarinig dito? Yung sa mga titos and titas, sa mga, pag-usapang pamilya, may binili akong luxurious na oven kasi investment naman yan. Not unless you're gonna use that for a business. It depreciates. Hindi yan investment. As long as yung binili mo is nagde-depreciate, it doesn't incur value or appreciates its value, hindi po natin yan matatawag na investment. So even though mahal yan dahil nag-invest ka, it's not actually an investment. And yun pa lang, yung basic pa lang na yun, yung mga Pilipino is not masyadong familiar with the term investment. Investment is something that grows over time. And there are actually characteristics that goes with it, and I'll talk about it later. Ito pa, BSP asked Pinoy adults 3 financial literacy questions, and gusto kong tanungin yan sa inyo today. And I hope you keep on tagging your friends and sharing it with them. Mamaya mamimili kami yung mga sumasagot. We will give out 10 calendars of MyTrade for 2022. Let's see. Papakita ko sa inyo. Is it here? Sobrang ganda kasi the theme is about travel because I know people are so they are hungry for traveling. Buti nga si Sir Jonas, he's in a very good background. Nakita mo naman nasa Ilocos siya while talking. So, okay, going back, 3 financial literacy questions. Kung meron, guys, kapag meron yung calendar, pakiabot. Okay, 3 questions from BSP that were asked to the Filipino adults. The first question is, suppose you have 1,000 pesos. Yan. Tingnan ko, kapag may tamang sagot, pwera si Pia. Pag may tamang sagot dito, yung tamang sagot na makikita namin, please check the answer later, guys. Pag may tamang sagot, papadalahan namin ng desk calendar. Nasaan na ba? Hinahanap ko. Sige, mamaya papakita ko sa inyo. Alright, so supposedly you have 1,000 pesos and assuming that prices increase at 10% this year and there is no change in your income. Walang, ang tawag doon, increase. Okay, which of the following statement is true about the things that you can buy with 1,000 pesos? First, I can buy more goods today than last year. Second, I can buy the same amount of goods as last year. 3, I can buy fewer goods today than last year. 4, it depends on the types of things that I want to buy. And number 5, I don't know. All right, so let me hear your answer. Sige, may konting delay yan eh. Sige, tignan natin kung ano yung tamang answer. But I just want you to think about it. Kung sino yung makita naming tamang sagot later on, we will ask them to send their delivery address so we can send them the MyTrade calendar, desk calendar. Anyone from my team who knows where the calendar is, I want to show it to them. Mukhang mga nag-i-invest na tong mga watchers na. Tingnan mo eh. Alright. So the answer is, okay. The answer is number 3. And Princess Slim got the answer correctly. Ayan. So, si Marvin din, I think, ang gagaling ng mga audience natin ngayon. Sa susunod na stream ko, meron na tayong sound effects. But congratulations, Princess Lim. Please message us in the private, in our chat box or in the Facebook page. Just say that this is from the MyTrade BPO Roadshow and that your delivery address for the calendar. All right? Okay, ayan na. So it's in an envelope. Ayan, yan. Liitan ko lang yung screen ko. I'll remove this first. Ayan. So, ang ganda niyan. Envelope pa lang yan. So, when you open it, you'll see, may nabuksan na ako nito. Sayang naman. O, ito, Princess Lim, sa'yo na lang. I'll check masyado yung pagkakasil namin eh. But, just the same, I want to show you how it looks like. May pa-unboxing pa tayong nalalaman. All right. So this is, I really love it when I saw it. I'm like, I'm gonna have this. Princess Lim, sa'yo to. In-unbox ko na for you. All right. So this is our 2022 calendar. Ayan. So showcase ko lang kasi ang ganda talaga. And you will see different destinations with our catalog, with our tagline, Better Year Tomorrow. Ayan. So every month we feature one place because we know that, this is something that you can eye for. Pwede tong mga short-term goals nyo. Where do you want to go once once traveling is okay na? Oh, I want a new one. Hindi. Oo naman, no. Joke lang yun. Sige na. Ayan. Okay, so you'll see it here. Yeah, and public holidays, it's here, and then you will see. Ayan, okay. Baka, diba? It is, some of the photos here are originally photographed by our graphic artist, and hindi mo malalaman kung ano yung original shot niya. Ayan. So, it's different. Just to let you know, Better Tomorrow is MyTrade's tagline. It's because we want for our traders and investors to experience better tomorrow in terms of, your tools that you use in trading and investing, and also in the long term for the next generation. Ano nga ba yung mahihiling ng present na, yung mga magulang ngayon, yung mga, for their kids, is to have a better generation to come. Shout out. Hello! Ayan, we met them in Korea when we were there for the OFW Roadshow naman, and we really miss traveling, and we meet a lot of people, and I hope you are all safe there, Christopher. Shout out sa mga kababayans natin na nasa Korea. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so next question. You put 100 pesos in a savings account with a guaranteed annual interest rate of 2%. How much would be in your account at the end of the year? All right, number 1, 102 pesos. Number 2, 110 pesos. Number 3, 120 pesos. And number 4, I don't know. Okay, sige, yung first naman sa YouTube na makita namin na sagot na tama will be the one to receive the calendar. Ayan. All right. So, next, ano kayang sagot? What do you think, guys? Yan, sabi ni Marvin 1, sabi ni Roblox Pro 1, sabi ni Regina Mariano 1. Thank you for participating. Make sure that you share this with your loved ones. I think ito na yung pinaka maganda na ma-share nyo sa kanila if they're not yet convinced in starting in the market. All right. The answer is number 1. So yung first YouTube comment ang aming bibigyan ng price, 102. And alam nyo ba na 33% lang out of the population na working na tinanong ng BSP ang nakakuha ng tamang sagot. They don't know the difference between simple interest and compound interest. Okay, so ano nga ba yung difference noon, 'di ba? If compounding interest works like a snowball, yung umiikot na umiikot yung interest mo, ginagamit mo na yung principal mo, principal mo, palaki na siya ng palaki. Yung base mo, palaki ng palaki. So, that's the main difference, or that's the driving point of why investing is really different from savings. Because simple interest only works in the in terms like savings account, and hindi mo pa nako-consider dyan yung mga withholding interest. Diba? I will do withholding tax. Yan. Yeah, congratulations, Roblox Pro. Just message us, say that you are a winner of our BPO Roadshow calendar, and send the where do you want to deliver for it to be delivered. And then the last question is, after 5 years, yung account mo na yon, yung 102 pesos, how much will it be after 5 years? One, more than 110. Number two, exactly 110. Number three, less than 120. Number four, impossible to tell from the information given. And number five, I don't know. Ayan. So, tell me, after 5 years of the same 100 pesos, after 5 years, how much is it gonna be? Continue sharing us, and I think there's a way for us to know who shared it. We will choose the more people, the most number of sharers na share, nakapag-share nito sa wall nila, or to the other people. We'll be able to see it, and or to other groups that you know about investing, so that we will be able to give you a reward, which is the desk calendar. The answer is more than 110 pesos. And among those who were asked, only 32% ang nakakuha ng tamang sagot. This is according to the BSP survey ng 2019. And you know what? That only 8% of the adults of being asked were able to answer all three correctly. So kung tama yung sagot mo sa lahat, you are part of the 8% who knows it. Alright, and nung tinanong nila kung ano yung mga reasons ng mga Pilipino, why are they not investing, these are the reasons that they have discovered. Alright, 75% do not have investment, so that's around 54 million adult population, and 66% of it has no work, or not a permanent employee. Number top two is they think it is expensive. How much do you consider building a retirement? Sa tingin nyo, magkano ba dapat ang startup when you build a retirement? And later on, I will tell you how will you build your retirement early through MyTrade. Number three, I am not aware. Hindi nila alam. There is a 15% in the population of 54 million that doesn't even know what investing is. And next is don't see the need for it. Kasi may nare-receive pa sila na active income, and they don't think that it is beneficial for them at the moment. Next is time to earn or grow money is too long. Wala tayong pasensya. Gusto natin get rich quick. And kapag meron ganon, kaya tayo madaling na-fall sa mga scams or Ponzi schemes. And next is don't trust investment providers. We understand that probably may mga nasunog na before because they have the wrong strategy. As mentioned by Sir Jonas a while ago, you have to have an open mind to start something, because it is said that 80% is psychology of anything that we start, and 20% is strategy. And today we will talk about that 20%, and also the reason why the 80% is it's not working, kasi nga may ganito pala tayong mentality. And last but not the least, they said that they already have savings. So iniisip nila na ang savings account nila is already the investment. But pag nalaman nyo lang kung ano yung nagiging resulta kapag nilalagay nyo lang yung pera nyo sa savings account, baka, oh my gosh, nung nakita ko to, parang I felt like nananakawan ako ng hindi ko alam. And that's how I really felt when I found out about this. Yan. So ano ba talaga? What are real investments? Let me share with you 4 major characteristics of investment. First is it should have a possible return. As mentioned a while ago, when someone said, investment naman yan, pero ang bagay na kotse, washing machine, ref, if you bought an appliance, after a few years, magde-depreciate na yan. And that's when you know na hindi investment yon, because it should have a possible return. What I'm showing you here on my right is the thing that is, the comparison between a government bond, which is an investment for, conservative and those na, with reservation sa mga risky ones, with the PSEI, which is the representation of Philippine stock market in the Philippines. You will see the growth of, I think this is 5 years and 10 years. Yung mga nasa maliliit, hindi na makita. It's very small na kasi relative. Sorry dun sa last. But if you invested in Abacus Securities way back 2002, 20 years ago, ito po yung makikita nyo na return. You can see the gap here of the picks of Abacus or MyTrade since 2002 versus everything that you can compare here. And ano ba yung nakikita nyo dito? What we call inflation, ano ba yan? I mean, who among you knows about inflation? Alright. And mamaya papakita ko bakit ano yung inflation. But first, when you say that there should be a possible return, makikita mo yan under Rule of 72, wherein you will count the number of days or gaano ba katagal bago mo madoble yung pera mo. So, meaning, yung pinakawalan mo is expected na kumita. And the lower the interest that is given to you, the longer that you're gonna wait. Kaya yung mga nagsasabi na it's too long, baka naman sobrang baba ng investment returns na pinuntahan mo. And you should manage this and, allocate your assets correctly. All right. So this is what we call the rule of 72, wherein you will divide 72 to the rate of return that was given to you. Like, say, for example, here, 12% gives you 6 years to double your money. For 10% gives you 7.2 years to double your money, and so on and so forth. Ayan. May mga phone-in questions ba? Just let me know if you have questions. Okay. So, bakit ba? We invest because we have to beat what we call inflation. Bakit nasusunog yung 1,000? Okay, papakita ko sa inyo mamaya. But here is the thing. In 5 years, nababawasan ng 18%, 18.9% yung halaga ng 1,000 mo hanggang sa makarating sa 20%. So imagine, if hindi kumita yung savings account mo ng 18.9% the last 5 years, may utang ka pa sa sarili mo. And that's what I call yung nananakawan ka ng hindi mo alam. It's dissolving. Oh my God. Yung 1,000 mo nagiging 840 na lang, nagiging 750 na lang, nagiging 590 na lang, and nagiging 480 na lang in 20 years. Hindi siya nadadagdagan. And how many percent is savings account? You know that it's just 1%, 2%, and may withholding tax ka pa dun. Alright. Number 2, it should have a possible risk. Hindi dapat maririnig sa nag-offer ng investment that it is guaranteed, because there is no such thing as a legitimate investment that has no risk. Even nga the government bonds and treasury bills have a little amount of risk. It's because there is uncertainty of the future. Hindi mo naman alam kung anong mangyayari. What are the possible risks? Na ito na madalas nakakalimutan ng most of our investors and traders. First is the risk of, the force majeure na tinatawag, yung law of nature. If a company is affected by a calamity, pwedeng maapektuhan ng investment mo doon. And no one knows what's gonna happen on the next day. Second, if yung mga economic uncertainties, katulad ng nangyari sa atin sa pandemic, we are in the height of our investment. The interest rates are really good when this hit and lahat nag-stop. Another thing is, there are certain risks, like for example, in the stock market, we have quite an assessment of the stock and the company goes another way. Ito yung mga possible risks that you have to know when it comes to investing. But this is not the reason for us to be scared. It shouldn't scare us because the opportunity outweighs the risk. Dapat ganun lagi yung yung mentality natin when it comes to investing. If you cannot see the opportunity, hindi yung opportunity ng pangahay pa, yung opportunity that is calculated, that's when you say you can enter. Nakikita mo dito yung guy, risk versus reward, it should always be bigger. Reward should always be bigger in order for you to say na, okay lang yung risk na yan. I mean, kahit nga sa relationship mo, di ba? May risk. So, walang too good to be true. All right, next is, it should be safe. Ang dami ngayong investment schemes, ang daming Ponzi schemes. Even yung mga text messages is sinasabi nila na, nakatanggap na ba kayo nito na parang they need an employee, click this link, oh my God, please don't accept that or don't click that link. Ang daming phishing sites. And kadalasan, sobrang promising yung mga nakikita natin. When you are investing, one in the checklist should be, it should be legal, number one. Should be regulated, number two, and it should be trustworthy. If you choose something that you want to partner with as an investment firm, kailangan syempre katiwa-tiwala. That's why we always say, we're not just here yesterday or last 5 years ago. We were here for 3 decades now. Hindi naman ako, pero we were here for 3 decades now. And, reliable ang ating, we are trusted and we are thankful to be trusted by institutional and government agencies. Number 4, that it should be liquid. Ano ba yung liquid? Hindi yung nababasa ka. When you say liquid, it should turn into cash. Yung asset na binili mo should originally turn kung yung pinambili mo, which is yung pera mo. Okay, and there is such thing as high liquidity and low liquidity. You will see in the chart, in the bar, that from very liquid, yung na nasa pa-opposite. The one here is the hardest part wherein pag bumili ka ng bahay, that is actually the lowest liquidity. Ang hirap i-turn yung risk ng pag turn ito na into cash will take a longer time. So this one is actually the time frame. The bar here is the time frame. And as you go along, the shortest time is the cash on your hand or yung cash dun sa ilalim ng kama mo na ayaw mong i-invest. Yung ATM machine mo, yung ATM card mo, and your stock certificate. And if you will notice, stock certificates before is not like, it's not very liquid or hindi natin ganun kabilis i-turn into cash. But these days, since there is an online platform already, halos very liquid na or halos as good as cash na ang investment mo in terms of in the stock market. Why? Because when you sell a stock, you will be able to turn it into cash and request for it to be deposited in your account on the 3rd business day. But here in MyTrade, actually, when you sell the stock the following day, pwede mo nang i-request to withdraw. So, napakaliit na lang ng waiting time, hindi katulad ng dati. And the good news about stocks is hindi mo na siya kailangang bayaran ng pre-termination, walang ganon. So it's something that is very liquid na, halos as good as cash na. All right, so we will go on and move to stock market basics. Alam ko we will have dinner for baka nagpe-prepare na yan. You can listen while you're preparing doing your stuff. So why the stock market? When we check the average for the past 20 years of the Philippine Stock Exchange, nag-come up kami to 9.6% in terms of rate of return. And in here, kukumpara natin sa 1% na savings, makikita mo ba if savings is investing? Makikita mo na on the 5th year pa lang, halos dumoble na yung 12,000 na pesos na ininvest mo. So kung nag-save ka ng 1,000 per month, at the next year, invest mo to sa stock market, yung 5-year return daw, according to the performance of the stock market, halos nabawi mo na yung 12,000, nadoble mo na yung 12,000. While in the savings account, very minimal lang yung naging growth. So how does it work? There are characters involved. There is a Philippine Stock Exchange, which is considered as the supervisor. There is the brokerage, which is the middleman, which is MyTrade. And there are listed companies. Ito yung mga bibilin mo. This is the commodity. And the stock or share is like the currency. Ito yung ginagamit mo na means to buy and sell those companies. And syempre, yung investors mo, those are the dreamers. Ano ba yung target mo? Ano ba yung goal mo? Why are you doing this? That's why you are called the dreamer, because you are eyeing something. You are eyeing a goal while you're entering this market. And how it works is that listed companies as a starting point, paano ba nagsisimula itong mga companies na to na pwede mong bilhin as stocks? So what happens is, meron tayong tinatawag na debut nila, which is the initial public offering. And this is the starting point of those companies who wants to be listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. Their objective is either payment of their debt, to raise capital or to expand. Yan yung mga means na would want of these listed companies to do, bakit sila nagiging listed sa market. And then what happens is that the role of these listed companies is to offer it to offer it in the investing public, and then you offer to through the means of the brokerage, which is the middleman, because you cannot buy shares directly from a person's share going to you. I've once seen a scam wherein someone is buying a share of Jollibee to another person na yung mga hindi alam, akala nila pwedeng bilhin na lang yung certificates na yon papunta. It's not gonna work. It should be through a brokerage, through us, through a middleman, because they're the only ones who are licensed by the Philippine Stock Exchange to buy and sell this securities ang tawag doon. All right. So the role of the brokerage acts like a middleman going to the exchange and to the listed company to the brokerage, to the investor. And there are typically types of brokerages. There are foreign brokerages, there are local, there are online, and there are traditional. Yung traditional, yung tatawag ka sa broker mo, and then you have to call and tell them to buy your stocks. But usually those have yung rate niya is mga traditional din, medyo may pagkamataas din in terms of rate. Okay, let's move on. If you don't know a term, or let me just tell me. Okay, in terms of investors naman, or shareholders, these are the dreamers, these are the investors. So si investor can buy from an IPO, or can buy, nakikita natin na can buy from another investor. Ibig sabihin, this is the secondary market na. Bumibili ka na doon through the exchange na nagbabuy and sell na may hawak ng shares. Or from the primary market, which is the initial public offering. There are types of investors. Meron yung merong passive, wherein hindi ka na bibilin mo yung stock and then tutulugan mo na or kakalimutan mo na. That is what you call a passive investor. And these are the most patient ones. While the extreme end are the day traders. Yung pag binili mo today, bebenta mo rin today. And they are typically yan, ang dami nilang screen to check the different charts. May mga different time frames sila na kino-consider. These are the most aggressive traders naman. All right. So there are types of companies. There's what you call the third liners. Na yung iba tinatawag to na maririnig nyo basura stocks, but these are actually micro cap stocks that have less than 5 billion in cap size. Yung size kumbaga ng shares nila available in the market is less than 5 billion. Second liner are the small cap, between 5 billion to 30 billion cap size. Ito yung mga second liners, yung mga hindi ganun kalalaki, pero the last but not the least is the first liner, or the big caps, which is 30 billion and above. So in terms of sizes, doon na determine kung anong liner yung stock na yon. Alright? So kapag nakita mo yung performance sa Philippines ng stock market, it is actually brought to you by what we call the index, the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. This is the 30 largest stocks in the Philippine Stock Exchange na merong kanya-kanyang criteria yon para ka pumasok doon. And these are commonly called as blue chip. Pero ngayon, the term blue chip is not actually just, you cannot just include the top 30. Meron na ring magagandang stocks that is included in the second liner. And Also, the investors are the ones who checks ano ba yung check and balance, nag-check and balance ang stock exchange for them to see between the brokerage and the investors kung napapractice ba yung kanilang rights. Ayan. Sabi ni Regan, literally sleeping si Pacific. Oo, may ganun. Alright, so makikita natin dito Mondays through Fridays. This was during the pandemic, but we recently have a change. Starting Monday, December 6, the Philippine Stock Exchange is back to 9 o'clock to 3 p.m. Market hours. So, hindi natin malalaman yung mga bagong investors or stock traders during the pandemic. First time nilang may experience na merong lunch break yung ano na ulit, yung stock market, and will end at 3 p.m. So, all right. So just to recap, the Philippine Stock Exchange is the market. This is the supervisor of all the brokerages, and checking the check and balance to of the brokerages between the investors, the investing public. If you want to buy, you have to go with the middleman, which is the brokerages, which is 125 and roughly 33 online. And last but not the least, there are buyers and sellers, which are individual investors that would like to buy shares and sell it to others. And that's when the exchange happens. So the stock market is buying, an individual can buy shares of stock of a company listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange through their chosen brokerage. All right. So another thing that you have to consider when you are buying in the stock market is the board lot. Ito yung tinatawag na bundles. Kaya tinawag na bundles, parang ano ba yung pack na kung halimbawa meron kang this particular stock, say for example, let's see here, DMCI has a price of 5 pesos 0.88 per share. So it falls under this 5 pesos to 49, which is 100. So, dapat kapag bibili ka nun, buy the hundreds. So, ito yung increments. So, you're buying in increments of board lot. There's such thing as odd lot, but it's more complicated because it has a different offer bid price. Ayan. So, stock and or per share is the currency na sinasabi natin kanina, can be either preferred. There are what we call the REITs and the common shares. So, ito yung mga hinahawakan ng isang investor to make sure that they are the part owners of that company. And the commission rates ranges from 0.25% to 1.5. So if usually the traditional brokerages have higher fees because yung mga yung mga checks, yung mga they're more costly to operate a traditional brokerage kasi that's why kailangan pa ng mga tao resibo yung mga ganon. But since online is purely online and all you need to do is to communicate via email, the rate is actually more or less 0.25 to 0.5. Okay, so ways to earn in the market. Paano nga ba ako kikita niyan, China? So there are two ways. One is the through price appreciation wherein you buy the share. Sabi nga natin, di ba? You are capitalizing on something that will appreciate. So if you buy a share, for example, this is a real stock that we recommended back in August 12, 5 pesos, 5 and 88 cents. This is DMCI. So sino may alam ng DMCI holdings? Yan. Our target before was 6.7 per share. And that price when we posted it on September was 6.72. So dun sa mga bumili ng 588 when we recommended it, meron na silang kita at 672 when they sell it, if they opt to sell it. And next is another way to earn in the stock market is through dividends. When a company gives out extra in its shareholders through via cash or stock. So yung stock is madadagdagan yung shares mo pero most likely mabawasan yung amount or the price per share. And this is makikita natin dito that ang mga bida sa stock sa cash dividends are mostly the REITs and the preferred. Usually ng common, not all the time na meron designated dividends. So there are investors which are focused on dividend plays. And commonly na kinukuha nila is like REITs. We have recently launched REITs para kang may-ari ng establishment or a property ng hindi mo pag-aari. Okay, so um, say for example, what we recommend for REITs is the Robinson's Land and the Mega World REIT, which is MREIT and RCR. Yung dalawang yon will give you around 6% dividend per annum. Yan. So yung mga gusto lang na, and apart from that dividend, nagpa-price appreciate pa siya. Right, next. All right. So those are the basic things that we need to know when it comes to investing in the stock market. You will eventually know it. We don't want you to have an overload, 'di ba? Sa ang dami na mo matututunan. But I think yeah, Gym A7 also has a big dividend play. Sabi ni Liwer Smiley. Yan. Thank you for your input. All right. So we move on to the 3 important things that we should know and we should not forget. Number 1. Yan. Market is cyclical by nature. There is such thing as emotional cycle of investing and also the bear and bull cycle. Okay. So meron tinatawag around roughly na 5 to 7 years of bull market. Ano ba yung bull market? Kaya bull pataas, at sinusuwag niya yung sungay niya. Yan, ganon. May umaarte sa harap ko. Okay, so 5 to 7 years and then for the bear market, roughly 2 to 5 years. And if you know this thing kasi, you won't be too aggressive on a bull market when things are all high. Alam mo na probably the season's gonna end. And you won't be too pessimistic when it's bear market because you know that this will eventually not last. So wala namang permanent, 'di ba? Lahat naman comes into cycle kahit ang buhay. Ayan. So you will see here that matatalo ka kapag huminto ka. So when you invest in the market, regardless of which time or which peak ka napunta, makikita mo na regardless of the ups and downs, saan ka pa rin papunta. And by the way, this is the Philippine stock market from 1986 to now, hindi na to now, to the present, 2021. And you will see the ups and downs. 'Di ba? Makikita mo na kahit na bumaba siya, umaakyat pa rin siya eventually. And you have to know that so you won't be discouraged when things are going tough. Ayan. Second is reliability is the key. All right. So we have seen a lot of calls or recommendations that we post. If you want to take a look at that, you can check our Facebook page. We have a lot of recommendation that has given us and our clients profits that that na nagiging masaya sila dun sa profit na yon and the relevant information that comes in time. Kasi sometimes disclosure is not enough. Meron mga disclosure that needs digging. Kailangan pang ano yung Tagalog nun, saliksikin. Kailangan pang you have to dig deeper to be able to know what's the real information behind. So this is where our research is really good at. And behind our picks is our head of research, Sir Nicky Franco. Hindi ko pala lagay name niya. If you want to follow him, you'll be interested in his post about the market. It's HOR_102 on Twitter. So he was awarded as Asia's best stock picker by Forbes magazine, and he's top 5 and the only Filipino. And he's the face behind all the stock picks. And speaking of stock picks, this is the year from 2003 to 2021. Okay. Makikita mo dyan, yung line, di ba may makikita kang line sa baba? That is the benchmark or the Philippine Stock Exchange. Ayan, may mga lodi. Yung mga regulars namin na followers ng MyTrade, yan, inaabangan niya lagi si Sir Nicky. This line is the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. Ano ba yung role ng index dun sa performance ng brokerage? Sabi, if you want to be above average, or if the goal of the brokerage, if they have a good recommendation, is that they will exceed the exchange or the index performance. And you will see that from 2003 going upwards, the gap is really big. Pero naiintindihan natin, oh, ano naman yan in monetary value. So I have a simple table here that gives you roughly estimate of what's the breakdown. If meron kang 1,000 pesos, magkano na yung 1,000 pesos mo versus nag-invest ka sa market, di ba? 6,000 na. And kung yung 1,000 mo, ininvest mo Philippines, sa Abacus, that's 9.6 is based on the benchmark. Ayan, sa PSEI. So that's a 20-year cash value. And then yung 1,000 mo is now 27,000. This is not the absolute peso value, but this is like for you to have an idea of the gap when you invested something that has good returns on a broker when it comes to brokerage recommendation. All right, next is in terms of reliability, you have to also make sure that kapag kailangan mo yung platform mo, makakapag-trade ka, 'di ba? Have you experienced that? Have you experienced that na yung market is ang ganda doon sa mga nagde-trade na ngayon and recently nasa ibang brokerage. Pero hindi mo na ma-open nung time na kailangan mo na mag-trade. And we want to say, and we're proud to say that 99% of the time since our inception is we have a very less than 1% of downtime. And we're proud to say that as well. And my trade's goal is actually to have a culture of innovation, and we are really proud when we were awarded by the Global Banking and Finance as the most innovative online broker of the Philippines for 2021, because alam na yun yung goal mo and you don't know and you are not aware na ito rin pala yung magiging na-recognize siya with your effort to help and to make a difference. Okay, next is, let's move on. Number 3. Yeah, madalas nakakalimutan din ng mga tao yan. Number 3 is, don't underestimate the value of diversification. Maraming mga kabataan dito, I think, nag-i-invest sa Bitcoin or sa cryptocurrency. I'm not gonna be against it because I've also tried it. It's not something that you need to shy away. You can try it, of course. The younger you are, the more likely that you can have a bigger risk when it comes to investing. But what I want to show you is your investment jar or yung allocation mo for investment should be in different locations. Hindi porket nag-earn ka lang doon sa sa kinikita mo, sa mag-all in ka na. Walang all in. Kaya kailangan don't put your eggs in one basket. You have to make sure that yung investment mo is allocated properly. Alam natin na this season cryptocurrency might be earning so much, but again, remember that whatever market it is, comes in cycle. And you have to, ang diversification works that you have to, to proof yourself in this cycle. Cycle proof ka dapat na kung kumikita tong investment mo na to, kikita rin yung investment mo sa kabila. Kapag down to, dapat may kumikita. That's the essence of diversification. And you are not only diversifying in assets, you can also diversify through the system. Some of our MyTrade subscribers have their long-term portfolio, some have their short-term portfolio. Later on, I'll tell you how they diversify in terms of trading and investing. And dun pa lang mismo sa loob ng market, pwede ka nang mag-diversify. And I hope but there's such thing as over diversification. When you buy something in the market, I've seen some people like binili na yata lahat ng stocks sa stock exchange. It's so hard to monitor all of those stocks. Kapag meron ka 5 to 10, okay ka na dun. We have a tool in MyTrade that will help you out in terms of diversification. Mamaya papakita ko yun sa inyo. As mentioned, how can we help? There are tools that we can provide and also segments. This won't be taking so long kasi alam ko na it's a weekend, but I'll just tell you two things. First is we have what we call the MyTrade Affordable Retirement Guide. Sinabi ko kanina how much is it to start a retirement fund. And I'm glad to say that this product of um, ours is as low as 5,000. You can start building your retirement. But of course, don't expect it to grow if you just put in 5,000 pesos. Alam natin, if you want to have a retirement, anong klaseng retirement ba yung gusto mong marating? And this is built for those who have less time, yung parang once a month lang to once a week lang nakaka-check ng market, with a little skills. Yung alam lang nila na knowledge is yung nakita lang nila today. Yun kasi is because we have formulated a system wherein you can see the stocks that you want to buy like a playlist. So you will receive on a monthly basis a playlist wherein we will tell you which is on play, which you will be pausing of buying, or will you remove on the playlist, which is you're gonna sell. And this is something that you have to add on a monthly basis. Kailangan on a monthly basis, dinadagdagan mo to because again, you have to diversify your portfolio. And paano ka makakabili ng stock kung 5,000 lang yung sisimulan mo at hindi mo na dinagdagan? And then you will expect a bigger return. Dapat hindi ganon. Iayon ang expectation sa ginawang investment. Alright, next is, this is for the regular traders. Ito, kasi si Marge, this is concentrated, meaning meron lang certain stocks na pwede kang bilhin. The second one is your regular investing, wherein you can buy anything in the exchange, but with the use of the tool which we call the navigator. Bakit siya the navigator? Because it is like a light that will guide you on the darkness of, investment decision making, wherein you will see the all are covered stocks in the in Abacus Securities. Ano ba yung target namin? We have our model portfolios. Like here, you can see the post-pandemic portfolio that we have given to our clients. And also, there's such thing as light coverage. And it requires a more amount of it requires more amount of time. You have to a little bit read of our reports if you want to check where it's coming from, but this is sortable. You can start with our market in terms of 10,000 pesos and comes with the model portfolio of Abacus Securities. Sorry. And it has a weekly guide. So merong weekly na newsletter that's coming from what you call the captain. Yeah. So this one starts with as low as 10,000. The beauty about this is you can subscribe all the IPOs, all the subscription that you need, because dun sa Marge, our Marge account, hindi siya pwedeng mag-subscribe because this is concentrated. All right, if someone's asking about suspended, this is because I think of your password. Just make sure you chat in our chat box. It's not the system problem, it's just the account. It was suspended due to wrong password input. All right. So our goal, weird. Sorry, this is Sir Paul. He's our chairman. Our goal is to for you to have a better tomorrow. This is not the only thing that we offer in MyTrade. In fact, we have a lot of segments that gives you information in the market. We interview the market leaders who are the decision makers of the companies that you invest in, and you can also check that out in our YouTube channel, so you can be guided of our past events. And not only that, Sir Paul is actually giving 1 hour of mentoring session to our viewers, just to be guided, just to, for you to ask questions. And also our analysts have this, what we call the round table, wherein you can give that they can give information or Q&A when it comes to trading and investing in the stock market. And so these are only the things that we can help you with. If you want to start, all you need is a tin. Kapag may problema sa tin, and if you are an OFW, just let us know. We are actually working a project with, we ask help from Congressman Salceda about, the tin of this OFWs na hindi makapag-apply. And I think they published something today na they're pushing through with it already. And we are very grateful with that they heard us. I think this is one of the things that OFWs need in terms of starting to invest, na hindi na sila maloko ng mga Ponzi schemes. And what we need from you is 2 government IDs, or 1 primary ID and a secondary ID. And all you need to do is just log into start.mytrade.com.ph and register and upload everything there. And also a bank statement, because we don't need the personal appearance. So just make sure that you have a proof of billing. That's all you need for you to start investing in the market. And I'll type in here so you'll be able to register. And so if you want to register, any questions? All right, for those who didn't get it, just for the sake of those who didn't get it, let me just go back to the slide of the KGAR. The compounded annual growth rate here at 9.6 is not Abacus Securities, but rather the PSEI, all right, in peso value. So it's not the Abacus Securities compounded annual growth rate, okay? Just for the sake of those who weren't able to catch it. This is because, why did I put 9.6 here? Is because that's the benchmark, and that's the one in the middle. And you can see here in the average, it's 2,663% in terms of cumulative KGAR. And when you check the annualized, I don't know if you, kung may nakakaintindi ng annualized growth rate and compounded annual growth rate, let me just check. It's 18.1%. Ayan. All right, so that's it for today. Let me call back Sir Jonas.
Yep, I'm here.
Ayan, madilim na sa
Can
background
you guys
mo.
hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, madilim na sa background. Yep. So, well, that's been um, very, I would say, very fulfilling in terms of information, especially for those who has been pinging me, right, while you are talking, China. And yeah, I would love to invite you to try the MyTrade app, right? I think it's one way, it's an avenue for you guys to actually start growing financially, right? Now, again, this is not um, um, you know get rich easy type of thing. This entails process, right? And you actually saw the a while ago, 20-year growth rate, right? It may sound, actually it may sound very long, right? But come to think of it, right? If you don't start now, then when, right? And again, we are here to help. You can post your questions. You can send us your questions directly through Facebook. And is there, Gina? Is there any other avenues where they can ask or post their questions after this?
Yes, please send their messages to our page. We have a chat bot in
Hmm.
our Facebook page, and then they can click the link of the information there. And also, if you find this show for when you started trading, please put you you found this from the BPO Roadshow talk. All right.
Yep, especially for those who won calendars.
Yes.
I'm still waiting for mine. I'm still
Yes,
waiting
I
for
will send
mine.
it to you.
So we'll be having something like this again on December 10, and I think this will continue up until 2022, especially for the people we love in the BPO industry, in the education industry. Thank you very much for joining, and I hope you guys spread the word. Right, things have gotten easier now. It's not something complicated anymore, as what China mentioned a while ago. You just have to click on that link that you see on the screen, right? Or actually
Yes.
type that URL on your browser, and that's actually your start off point, right? So again, thank you very much for all of those who attended. I hope we were able to answer a lot of your questions. Again, it's very easy, and remember what I said a while back, right? Abundance and opportunities is at the other side of yes. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great evening and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.